Hello and welcome to the MHG podcast. As usual, life could be a little bit miserable, life could be a little bit dark, so we're here to try and bring you as much light and as much joy to start, maybe the middle of your week, who knows. Whatever you're doing, we're here for you. I'm Bradley, joined again by Stu. How you doing, Stu?
Yeah, not too bad. Yeah, whenever I need to perk myself up, I think about the victory in the Women's Euros, which always helps. That was fantastic.
Oh, that was amazing. What an amazing achievement. Officially better than the men.
Oh, yeah.
So, cool.
Wildly.
Yeah. And it's ruffled a few feathers as well. People are going, oh, that Chloe Kelly, bit arrogant and cringe because she's happy and celebrating, because women obviously can't be confident and happy.
Yeah, I find that extremely strange. Yeah, it's like just casting around for things to criticise, just picking up the most ridiculous stuff. But, yeah.
I know.
Mad.
But we didn't get to go out to Switzerland, me and Edith. That was unfortunate because we was at Wembley for 2022. That was amazing. But we did go to the parade, 65,000 down the mall, celebrating the real queens of this country. Yeah. It was an amazing, amazing atmosphere. There was don't get me wrong, there's a few people pushing by to try and get places and a bit hurried, but there was no sense of it could kick off. None of that. It never felt like it could kick off at any moment. And I've been to parades and other events like to do with men's football, and at any time you feel like just got to have eyes in the back of my head here. None of that. It was beautiful.
Oh, that's superb. Yeah, what a great event. And like I said, it's crazy that it managed to be organised so quickly, after the victory. That's just brilliant. It shows the passion that they've got.
Indeed. And then hopefully World Cup next in Brazil. Let's see if we can bring that one home as well.
That'd be so cool.
It would. But yeah, it's absolutely amazing. But also women are tougher because Lucy Bronze played an entire tournament with a fractured tibia bone.
Yeah.
Because she's a double hard bastard.
That's too right. Yeah, they were fantastic.
Yeah, it's one of those, I think it's going to live long into the memory. While the men, again, haven't won a trophy this century. Or this millennium, even.
Yeah.
So,
puts it in perspective.
Let's stick on toxic men. And just one last thing on that. If you ever want to see how to be part of the celebrations as a guy, or a male, I'm non-binary, so I don't even know where I fit. But anyway, if you want to be a man you want to support, don't be Joey Barton, who's bitter and twisted. Be Basil. If you do a search for Basil England, Basil Chelsea, oh my God, what an amazing guy. 63 odd years old or something like that. I don't know what he used to do. Head to toe in club or country colours, flags, bucket hat, drums. He gives out sweets to the kids. He's the most amazing, beautiful person you could ever hope to meet at a football crowd. Utter brings joy to everyone. So in a world of Joey Bartons, be more Basil.
Yeah, absolutely.
Before we get to video games, you might not hear this in the UK because we're a little bit blue at times. And according to the UK government, anything a bit blue, can't be having that, Stu.
You are referring, of course, to the Online Safety Act, in inverted commas. Yeah. The Online Authoritarian Act, as I'd like to call it.
Yeah. Or, as it's also known, all the kids going, just use a VPN, Dad.
Exactly.
Why should you need your passport? VPN.
Yeah.
It's like they spent years putting this together. I get it's one of those where you go, well, yeah, of course you want to keep kids safe or people safe and stuff like that. It's when you have it at that top level. It's one of those that goes, well, yeah, of course, yeah, we all want to keep kids safe. We get it. But then when you go, right, how are you going to do that? Well, you can't do that. You shouldn't do that. That's definitely wrong. You can't take away. Oh, but you can censor that now because it's got certain words in it. Because I think there's already been some stuff to do with Gaza that's been censored in this country or something already, which is ridiculous. But they spent years getting this together. To which people just went VPN. 2 minutes of your time, you're on.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. I mean, I always look like you look at Spitting Image and stuff like that, and they like or any like satirical comedy show, and they talk about how incompetent government is. But you go, oh, it's just satire. They can't be that stupid behind the scenes. Yeah, they are.
They really are. That's the thing. It really is, because the thing is partly stupidity, because there are people who will be voting for the bill who are just ignorant, and they're just going along with the rest of the hierarchy in the government and what the whip forces them to do.
Yeah.
But there's also people who are just doing it purely out of mendacity and purely because they're bad actors, and because they know that, you know, you're never going to stop people accessing porn. You're never going to stop kids accessing porn, unfortunately, unless you educate them out of it. Or, you know, at least give them a little bit of a background in life so that it's not something that they're obsessed with. It's just operating as designed, which is to grab people's data. It's just a data grab, because they know that lots and lots of adult people who are legitimately adults are now, just as well as being adults, are going to be handing over all of their data, which is exactly what they want, you know? So
yeah, now, and again, what people need to understand, if you're a teenager listening to this, if you're a grown adult, inherently there is nothing wrong with pornography. There's a lot wrong with the pornography industry, but in the same way, there's nothing wrong with watching a film. There's nothing wrong with playing a video game. There's nothing wrong with listening to music. There's plenty wrong with those industries, but the actual act of partaking, nothing wrong with it. So never be ashamed of pornography. If you watch pornography, it's fine. It's part and parcel. We've all done it for years. It's just not finding magazines in bushes anymore. I assume you had that experience as a child. You found the magazine in the bush.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
But yeah, so it's it's part and parcel. And like my son, we've allowed him to, like, for example, to drink and stuff like that from a youngish age. Not like get bladdered or anything, but if we've had like a Christmas dinner, yeah, of course you can have a small glass of wine. Or, you know, as he got a little bit older, it's like we're having a party or we're at a party, yeah, you can have one bottle of beer or something like that. We've never demonised alcohol, but what we've done is allow him to have those things in moderation as a child, and discover those things so that when he turns to adulthood, it's not all thrown at him at once and then cause possible addiction. If I'm not saying take your kids to show them pornography, we're not all Jim's dad, right? But I'm not saying do that. Show them like, oh, this is where Dad goes. Bit of X videos. Don't look at that stuff. That's the private stash. I'm not saying do that, but you know what you did as a child, so you know your kids are going to be looking at porn. What you need to make sure is they're not getting obsessed with it, and that's where you step in as a parent. The part and parcel of they look at this stuff, they look at stuff you shouldn't be looking at. It's part and parcel of growing up. It's a curiosity thing. We've all done it. When I first heard of the dark web, was I curious? Yeah. Did I go and look for it? Yeah. Was I confused as hell by it? Yeah. I don't know how I don't think I even managed to get in because it was confused. But I was really confused. What was that? The Rotten.com back in the past.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'm sure, have you been on Rotten.com? Yeah, remember all that? It's all stuff. It was curiosities. Yeah. It was vile.
Yeah, that had like all murders and accidental deaths and things like that. It was just horrendous.
It was the dark web before the dark web and stuff like that, before it went underground. Because here's the thing, they banned it, but instead of trying to do it in a way that was sensible, they banned it in a way that sent it underground, created the dark web. Now, timelines might be different. There might have been a dark web before that, but it became more popular. It became more well-known because you sent it underground. What do you think is going to happen to... And again, I feel like I'm having a go at you here, but it's like just the general. What do they think is going to happen if they start banning porn? Like, doesn't just work here. They go, oh, it works here. So they start doing it in America. They start doing it in France, Germany, Canada, China, wherever. What's going to happen to the porn industry? It's going to go underground. And then what safeties are there? None. And then you start getting the possibility, if they want to go, what can happen if people get access to this in normal circumstances? If it goes underground, let's go down that same route. People want their porn, it gets more extreme. Well, once you get used to something, you want more. You want something a bit more. So it gets more extreme, and you're looking at, okay, maybe you're looking at acted rape, because I know that is a category in pornography. It's pretend rape scenes and false sex and stuff like that. Both actors consenting, blah blah blah, all that. But a lot of people watching might not understand that. Does that then send them to, oh, I like watching that, but that's telling me that's okay because it's getting more extreme because it's been pushed underground, so I'm going to go and do that. It opens up more to trafficking and stuff like. If you want to go to the extremes of what potentially an Afghanistani man coming into this country could do as an immigrant, well then, if you want to do those extremes, let's go to the extremes. What happens if you start banning stuff and pushing it underground? Because it was the same logic. It's the exact same logic. If you think one Afghan man could be a potential bad apple, what happens if it all goes underground? That human trafficking to get people, that's all underground. Everything starts going there because the porn industry, whether you like it or not, it drives technology, it drives social aspects of things, it drives the acceptance of where people see women and stuff like that. There's a reason why OnlyFans exists. It's women taking back control of what you get to see. And they are rightfully so. But you take that and stick it underground, that's a very dark place to go. It is it could be terrible. And I hate to imagine where it could go, not just with pornography or anything like that, but once you open that door for people to go into that area, because that's the only place they can get it, what else goes there that can't be seen at the top level? It's a dangerous, dangerous game, and one whoever gets in next has to get rid of as one of their first acts, because it's going to become a dangerous country otherwise.
Yeah, and you have to look at the motivations, because I mean we know that it's just an authoritarian power grab, and you know you're right, it just causes more illegal activity eventually, especially if it's not done correctly. And like the right way, and again in inverted commas, the right way to go about it is to just do it properly, to target exactly what you're after, and then use, a think tank of the people who are best in cybersecurity, firewalls and everything, all the people who are properly educated in this stuff to create a proper system that actually works. And this clearly is not that. And I mean, you only have to look at like Nintendo for success in like driving down piracy. I don't I don't like laud them for it because I think it's ridiculous, but you can see the way that they've done it is very technology based, and they've made it so incredibly difficult to pirate their games that it's practically pointless for most people. So I mean, if you really want to do it, you can do it. You just have to do it properly.
Exactly. No, I totally agree. So again, I don't know where this is going to go. It angered me. Because I think the next step once they do this, honestly, yes, it's the authoritarian grab. I think the next step is hiding and eradicating LGBTQI plus talk.
Yes, exactly. They're already using it to talk about Palestine genocide. Anything that is anti-government, and you're going to be tracked. It's going to track you for when you're posting about these sorts of things. It's an absolute mess.
Yeah, indeed. That went longer than I thought. So we're going to censor all that. Okay, we're not listening to that anymore. And instead, we're going to talk about something really wholesome, Stu. The most wholesome industry in all the world.
What's that?
Video games, Stu.
Video games, of course it is. So wholesome.
You've got nothing this week.
No, because I'm going to be doing Ninja Gaiden Ragebound next week.
Sure.
Oh, yes.
You were like a kid in a sweet shop when I sent you that code. You was like,
So excited.
Just very quickly, because I know you've been playing it, because your little icon came up on the game. Just give me a quick yes or no so far. Just a yes or no. That's all I want. I don't want anything else. Just a yes or no.
Yes.
Okay. That's all we need for now. So you ask the question and I will ramble.
Yeah. So what have you been playing this week?
So, first game I've been playing is called Becoming Saint. where it's an autobiographical game about setting up a former footballers TV show on a Saturday morning to talk about football.
Wow. Games really have moved on and developed, haven't they? Yeah.
Yes. Its sequel's going to be becoming Greavsie. Just for anyone who just needed to complete that reference. No, it's nothing to do with that. I mean, that sounds like it would be a fun game, though. It probably wouldn't, but it would in my world. So what Become Insane is actually, it's the sort of auto-battler, real-time strategy, political simulation set in medieval times, where you basically want to spread religion, I suppose. It is what it is. It goes other places, and I don't want to ruin it, but that's the core concept. You are a doctrine. You become a doctrine, and then you need to basically preach your ideas across. I think it's like medieval Italy. I don't know if there's any other countries down the line or anything like that, but it's definitely where I am. It's like set in a medieval Italy. And then basically what you need to do is you kind of get these... If you was playing like a proper real-time strategy game, like you have your like units and stuff like that, except your units here are like preachers and clergymen and stuff like that. And they go to different quote-unquote battlefields and preach the word of their doctrine to try and convert that area to their belief system. And then there are obviously people who oppose it, and they get into battles. They're not like bloody murderous battles. They're more debate-style battles, which is really interesting. It's a non-violent, real-time strategy battle game. And it does these things really, really well, because it's a roguelike at the same time. Just we've got to throw a bit more in for indie bingo there. So it is a roguelike. And basically, you've got to venture out and convert people. And that's literally the game. And it's, on the whole, it's really, really fun. Because you kind of go through, you don't get very far because people go, no, screw you, to your religion. But you get, the further you go, you earn more perks and you earn more sort of like ideas, and you can get different types of units, and they go out and they're better at converting, and you about getting that synergy. It's all the stuff you expect in a normal real-time strategy game or a deck builder or something like that about synergies. Except, I say, it's all about preaching and converting. But it's not, as a game itself, it's not preaching and converting. It's not trying to say to you, this is what you should believe in. It's got some interesting discussion points in a way about religion and the way, especially maybe back in like those sort of times, you could spread untruths or your belief system to other people because there was no way of checking what it all meant. And it kind of takes that with it. All the little battles have a really small scale, and it's about planting that seed in a way and growing it as you go. And there's like various different, I say, loads of different types of units that give you different effects and so on and so forth. And if you take it down and strip away everything, it is a very similar RTS to any other RTS or strategy game like that. But the shell over the top of it is a really interesting one I've not really seen before. The issue with it doesn't actually come from the content or the message or the fact it's religious based or anything like that. The issue with it is it's quite impenetrable when you first play it. I've had to play through a tutorial type effect 5-6 times just to get a grasp of it. It's very wordy, but it tries to obviously set a scene, so it's like medieval, so it's that ye old language that goes along with everything. It's quite, a lot of the terminology is quite sort of like old religious terminology, again, which is fine, but I feel it needs an option where there's a lot more just plain English with it, or just a better tutorial that guides you through. It kind of expects you to have this understanding already of RTS games, so... and then change up what your actual messaging is there, what it's actually trying to do. And it's a confusing mess to get into. But once you crack that surface, it's a very, very Moorish game. I really like the concept behind it. And I first looked at it and went, oh God, it's actually full on religion. I didn't think I was going to like it. But I say, it's got some really good ideas. It's not overly preachy, despite being a game about preaching and converting. It's not trying to do that to you, the audience. And it's just really well done, just with the most shockingly bad intro to it.
Wow. I know I was joking about the, gaming really going places, talking about Satan Greavsie, but that's really going places. Talk about, the historical context of, converting people into a religion and making it an RTS. That's mad.
Yeah.
How cool.
I'm actually surprised it's not had a backlash to it yet. Because for me, it does nothing wrong at all. I say it's not trying to go, this is how everything should be. It's really clever in distancing itself from being this is the one true religion, or this is the one thing you should believe. It's really clever in that. But I was expecting a backlash of sorts. And I think had it been made by a bigger publisher, or something, or maybe a bigger well-known developer, I think there might have been some more backlash to it from evangelical types, I suppose, in a way. But there hasn't been, and I don't know if that's just because it's not popular, or if it's something else, whether people have actually gone, oh yeah, this actually does make sense and it's done really well. I don't know. But I say overall, I'm enjoying it, but I can't fully recommend it to someone who's not understanding RTSs and wanting something a bit different, because if you go into it as a casual, I think you're going to get lost easily.
Yeah, it sounds like it, yeah. I'm sure that there's no backlash just because the majority of people who would get fired up about this stuff are complete idiots. And they probably not sophisticated enough to understand that it's a complex look at the propagation of religion.
Yeah, they need to look beyond FIFA and Call of Duty and Fortnite, and no one's told them about this one to get angry yet. So it's not even telling them to get angry, it's they have to tell them what to get angry about.
Yeah, that's right.
And obviously we're banned in the UK at the moment because we mentioned stuff about the government or whatever, I don't know. So at least the British people won't get angry.
Yeah, we're back on the watch list. Hey, we're used to it.
So, from converting people to religion to riding a bike with a ghost head. Because indie games can do that. Because I've also been playing Wheel World. Wheel World? Like, as in, like a motorbike, a bike.
Yeah.
Like, you have them on a bike, not your mate Will. Anyway, what this is, it's an adventure story game about someone who essentially has to become a courier of sorts, I suppose. But the help trying to bring a world back that was taken from spirits, the underworld, things like that. And you have to do it by this spirit being attached to your bike and you going on various different quests, cycling through this world. And it's just a really pleasant game about finding yourself, I suppose, in many ways. Is I think the overall concept I got from it. It's a really feel-good game where it starts off like you feel like it's going to be quite dark and it's going to be anything like that. It's a really just feel-good game about looking around you and discovering and making connections. And by doing that, you kind of like, you do these mini quests and stuff like that, and you bring back like spirits that are once hidden, and like they need to all be together for things to happen, and so on and so forth, without trying to ruin stories. And you do this by cycling around this open world, like it's a free roam thing, and you can find or earn to unlock different bits for your bikes. You can customise your bike, and it's lovely looking like that. And then kind of like there's races in there, so a lot of the like things you do. So battles, I suppose, in a way to unlock new quest paths are done via bicycle races, and it's very much if you take the idea of something like a Tour de France game where you get your stamina and you have to make sure you're using your stamina properly. With this, you get boosts and stuff like that, but making it very arcadey at the same time. And if you do well in the races, you earn things, and you can unlock more things, and you progress the story, you unlock new parts of the world, there's more quote-unquote enemies that you meet, more other NPCs you get to interact with. And it's a game that I found myself sort of playing and going, I don't know, do I like this? And then when I actually thought about it, I went, do you know what, I do like this. It's unlike anything I've really played before in terms of there is a point to it, but the point sort of doesn't matter, and that's good because I just liked being in the world. I think the visual art style is beautiful, absolutely beautiful, and it's a game that you'll look back at in 20 years' time, and you'll go, that does look beautiful, that still looks good, that art style was really held up. And the story, I think, is quite mature in places. And it carries a lot of the games. A lot of the games like racing or fetch quests or going from point A to point B, which is the core concept of a lot of games. But what they've done, I say really well, is they've wrapped up in a story you care about, characters you care about, a world you just want to be part of, to take something quite simple and not go, oh, this makes it like a really complex game, but take that simplicity of quite a lot of video games and I say, play it in a way that is something that you've never experienced before. And it's a game that I would call, it's just a wonderful experience. It's something that's just really great to be in and discover for yourself. But yeah, it's kind of one that was on my wish list. I think it used to be called Ghost Bike. They changed the name of it. Much prefer Ghost Bike still, but have at it. But yeah, it's a really cool game. Really, really enjoy it.
It does look unique, and yeah, I'm looking forward to playing this one. I especially love, like you say, the visuals, that cel-shaded look, but kind of mixed with like European animation kind of thing. It's a really pleasant, appealing kind of aesthetic. But I only had one question: what's the actual cycling like? Is it like an ordinary racing game, or has it got like balance mechanics, a little bit like some of the motorbike games, or how's it handle?
It's more traditional, like just like you press button to go. There is, I wouldn't say balance mechanics in terms of you're going to fall off all the time and you've got to keep yourself steady or anything. It's just more when it comes to corners, taking them at the right speed and sort of like making sure you can get over jumps and stuff like that. Nothing intense. It's not like, it's definitely not going for like a simulation or anything like that. It's more press button to go and allow you to sort of really just check the world out.
Very cool. Yeah. As I say, I'm looking forward to this one. It does seem like a nice niche to explore.
Definitely. And before we go, one of them I'm very quickly going to touch on because it's kind of been sat in my box a couple of weeks. I've been playing it. And it's called Ruffy and the Riverside. And it's a 3D platformer, very much in the old N64 style, Mario Odyssey and all kind of stuff like that. And you play this character called Ruffy, which I think is some kind of animal. I haven't got a clue what he's meant to be. But you go around this world and you've got this mechanic to basically swap pallets. So you might need to, like, a basic example is you might be somewhere, there's something at the top of a waterfall. But what you could do is copy the pallet of vines and then paste that pallet over the water. And then you can climb the vines to get up to the top of the mountain, grab the stuff, go back down and swap back. Or you can change something that's wooden to metal. It goes loads of places. It's just a good, fun 3D platformer, which shamelessly at times borrows from other 3D platformers. So there's a brilliant section in there where it's all 3D world, And then in this 3D world, you go to a part and it's got like this 2D level that's imprinted on the wall of this 3D world, like in Mario Odyssey. And it's kind of funny. I really like that it's aped that just briefly. I haven't seen lots of it. It's not going and doing it all the time. It's just a cool little nod to its influences. And like the collectathon stuff, so it's very Banjo-Kazooie in that sense. Really fun game. What it is, though, for me, do you remember I spoke about a game last year called Gory Cuddly Carnage?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
And I described it as ADHD, the game. Yeah. So's this.
Right.
It is the most kinetic game I've ever played. Ruffy never stops moving. The art style, the world never stops moving in this like frantic way. It's not like, oh, trees are just moving in the breeze or anything like that. The camera feels like it's constantly on the move. The world seems like it's constantly moving and shifting, even though it's not. It's got this almost... Because it's like Ruffy's this 2D character in this 3D world as well. It's definitely got that kind of vibe you get with... like Miles Morales before he becomes Spider-Man, 2D like half-frame movement, but it's not actually these half-frame movements. It is fully like whatever it is, 30 or 60, whatever you're playing it as. But I think it's this 2D and the animation style they've given Ruffy gives it that kind of similar effect to the Across the Spider-Verse animation style. It's just very constantly just go, 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 go. And if I found it kinetic and frantic, and that's what's in my brain constantly anyway, I don't know what it's going to be like for others, but it is a fun game that I love playing, love being in it. It's bright, it's colourful, it's funny. I genuinely laugh out loud funny at times as well. The character could be annoying, but it just works. Is it as good as like what Nintendo could produce? No, don't be silly. It's not. Is it one of the better versions of those sort of games in that genre? Oh, definitely. Because it looks different to anything you'll play in that genre. And it just feels fun. It's not overbearing. It's not like, oh, we need to collect these things, but we're going to make you do this for about 6 hours before you progress. No, it's bang, 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 bang. But it's almost like a pinball table in the way you go through it all. There's just so much to discover in it as well. It's absolutely fantastic. Highly, highly, highly recommend this one for any platformer fans.
It looks really good. Yeah, I can see what you mean about the ADHD thing, because like even the characters like idle animation is like bopping around really quick.
Yeah,
it's just like it's non-stop. So yeah, that looks really cool. I might have to check that one out.
Yeah, but that's what goes in like, that's what my brain's like most of the time. So if you ever want to find out what an ADHD's brain is like, this will do it.
Fair play.
Yeah, but with that's it for this week for me. I'll make sure I've only got one next week, because I think this is going to be your week to wax lyrical about a game.
Yeah, I can imagine it might take some time, to be honest. I just want to strap in.
And then I'm going to play it and I'm going to shit on all your dreams.
Oh, no doubt. I'm already braced for that, to be honest.
Yeah. But yeah, so I'm going to take my leave and let you take us out.
Okie dokie. So, yeah, as usual, follow us on all the socials. Make sure you're checking out our content on the website. Join us on Discord to chat if you fancy it. And apart from that, until next week, stay safe and stay sane.